Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to Unload the Weight podcast, where I'm your host, Logan Farrar, and I'm here to drop gems in the gym for your mental health and well-being. Today, I got some invisible energy, positive energy right beside me. Miss Beth, how you doing, beautiful? I'm awesome. Got a good workout in. Read a little bit, got my mind and body connected, and I'm ready to give the people what they want to hear. What we got today?
So today I want to ask you. Well, today I want to talk about therapy,
Mm.
but I wanted to ask you, like, why do people go to
Because they don't want their business out in the streets, honestly. Because so many people go through things, and in therapy, whatever happens in the space stays in the space, unless you're about to harm yourself or you're talking about harming somebody else. And I mean, like, man, I'm about to kill somebody for messing with my family or something like that. Like, we as therapists, we know if, especially if you got a good rapport, we know if you really about to do something to somebody else or really about to do something to yourself. Like, it's just that instinct. It's just that connection that we have with our clients. Outside of that, everything stays here, and especially in the Black community, I find it most like most people tell me, man, I can't talk to my brother or my sister or my homie
therapy? Yeah.
and about some of this information because I'm afraid of it getting out in the streets. So I think that's one of the primary reasons people seek therapy. Um, and a lot of people in our culture think it's for psychotic people, like really mentally ill. But stress management is the key to your success, right?
Yeah.
So when you're in therapy, it's a whole bunch of stress management tools being we go over a lot of management tools, and every level it's a roadblock because you don't know how to do something when you grow, when you get to the top. So a therapist can also teach you stress management tools and how to cope with stress, how to breathe, how to talk to yourself correctly, how to prepare your mind for tough things that you have to navigate through during your day, how to create boundaries. Like, we don't even know. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't know that we're not taught boundaries. We just go through life learning. Like, I don't feel good when this happens, so I'm finna separate myself from the situation. So boundaries are learned, but intentionally, you sit down and you talk about boundary setting if that's hindering your growth. If people are hindering your growth, if behavioral habits are hindering your growth, if certain situations are hindering your growth, you talk with your therapist. Your therapist creates awareness because you give them all your information. So they sit back and observe, and they kind of dig out the gray areas that you don't see, and they create awareness, and then they unpack. So um, a lot of stuff that we do is really invisible because we do it so much. It's deeply rooted in us, and therapists are there to identify. Dang, so this is you grew up um, not going to school every day, and that's what's pouring into your work life, or you grew up um, just taking care of everybody and not worrying about yourself. That's why you put yourself on the back burner. And it's like, oh my gosh, oh, that you are right. So therapist makes that connection so the client can work on themselves and be the best version of themselves, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So, what does a therapy session look
Man, well, I can't speak for everybody else, but for me, because I'm one thing about me, I like to create my own lane. I don't like to be like anybody else. I never seen a therapist growing up. besides on TV and movies, and they wear suits and
You lay on the couch.
you laying on the couch, them talking like robots.
And they be like,
Yeah, they right. Like I can't multitask at all. Like I don't like it. I don't like it. So I don't even take notes during my session. I don't even record, take notes. I'm here. But I come in. The most important thing is rapport building, building a relationship with your client. So in person, I turn on the soundtrack, turn on YouTube. Hey, what music do you listen to? This sets the tone for the environment. So if you want to listen to some Rod Wave, which I do, like for the younger kids are into this Rod Wave thing. He puts you in a lower mood, so sometimes I like, really? Do you want to listen?
ultimately,
Yeah. I put on some music. I set the tone. And then this increases relaxation. You can catch them singing, humming, uh, tapping their toe, and then I first session it's get to know you outside of the intake process. We skipping all that, the plan of care, creating goals for you. Let's skip those 2 sessions. We into our third session now, and we're building rapport. So it's rapport building questions. What do you like to do? Where do you like to travel? Um, what do you like to eat? If you had an invisible power, what would you want to do with it and why? You know, just some cool things and just some rapport building, and it increases that connection. So that next session, we're gonna go into presenting problems. If they're not severe, if they're severe problems that you coming to me with, if you're grieving or something, we're going right into it. But if not, we're building rapport and setting that tone.
I think that's where a lot of people get lost at. I could just speak for myself. That's where a lot of people be like, man, I don't want to, because you right, you have to build rapport and you got to see if you like that person. And sometimes it be like, I don't want to explain my whole entire life to them again.
Yeah.
Another person. So I feel like sometimes we don't even get to that third session because you're just kind of looking for something quick. Can you speak to how therapy is a process and not just like a one-off thing when you need somebody to talk to or when you're just going through something in that moment, how it's continuous whether you're doing good or bad?
Life is a journey. Life is a journey. So of course therapy gonna be a journey. It takes time to unlearn some things. Imagine doing stuff for 30 years and then one day you're in therapy and your therapist creates awareness on an issue and it creates agitation in the client and it can be uncomfortable so they can do the fight or flight thing and you ain't gonna want to come back when things get uncomfortable, but it's a process. You have to unlearn things. It's not just going to happen overnight because you're deeply rooted in a certain behavior, your family dynamic values, your community values, where you went to school at, um, what you did after school as a young adult. All those behaviors and habits and what you see are so deeply rooted into you. It's going to take a time. So it's a process. It's a journey to unlearn behaviors and improve because you have so many experiences that created who you are, that you have to unlearn things, and all good things take time. It's a journey, and as you go along that journey, you're going to, oh my gosh, I am improving in this area. Oh my God. And sometimes it only takes one session. I'm not trying to brag on me. Sometimes it only takes one session because some people don't even know if you think positive, you feel positive.
One session for completion or one session for it to click for them?
To click for them.
Oh, okay.
One session, it clicks because some people don't know some of the simple things because they grew up in a toxic environment. So when I introduce, all you have to do is talk to yourself because all you gotta do is talk to yourself to redirect your attention, and you'll improve your mood. Sometimes that clicks in a person, and their whole world changes, and then we'll build off that. But sometimes it takes a while for sure. So it's a journey. It really is a journey. So just most definitely embrace it and be proud of where you are to maintain mental health and well-being, but also commit to a better version of you. And I think that's the recipe for living a good life,
Okay.
for sure. So I Love the Weight podcast, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'll see y'all next time.